subsequent curse that befell the earth. All bad things came from that. Because God is not responsible for anything bad, but in order to make us in his image and likeness, we had to have free will choice. And evil men have the choice to be evil, okay? And that's what they've done. They've subjugated, they've poo-pooed their conscience, they poo-pooed their soul, okay? And you got to feel sorry for them. And they're not smart. You got to be a fool. You got to be a freaking idiot to do something like that. Don't you agree? So thank God, cherish your values. Say, I'm so glad, God, I got an issue here and here and here. I'm weak, so I'm nobody to judge anyone. But at least you could be very grateful that you have those boundaries and you wouldn't transgress those boundaries for any amount of money. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You got a lot of them like me, right? And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Just thank God for that. That's where you got those values from. You understand? You say, I value my conscience. I don't want to subjugate my conscience. I want to honor my conscience. I want to honor my soul. I want to ensure as much as I possibly can that I'm found worthy and deserving of inheriting a better world from here. Because I don't want to live in perpetuity in this crap hole. And God gets it. I get it. The righteous get it. Because that's what these people make you want to do. Okay, they make me crazy. And I have to turn to God for any semblance of sanity in my life, any peace of mind, any comfort, any encouragement comes through prayer and just spending intimate time with your owner. That's who God is. It's like our divine parents, the ultimate set of parents, with all the power to give you life for eternity. And that's what I want. Not in this crap hole, but in a world that's cleansed of all the turds. Because that's essentially what's going to happen. If people are bent and determined to fight God and fight his will being established on earth, then they're going to be separated, just like you would as a good parent. You could tolerate the righteous children being bullied around for so long, and you finally put your foot down and say, I've got to do this. I've got to separate you. You're not deserving to be around the righteous people. You're turds in a punch bowl, and even one turd, okay, renders the punch inconsumable, right? I mean, for me, it does. One little tiny turd. None. Got to be there. So you got to understand what the world of tomorrow, the one that God sets up, is going to be like. There can't be any form of money at all. So ready your heart and mind for that. That is a huge departure from where we are, is it not? Huge, huge. That's a big deal. Figure it out. All the other creatures who are far less intelligent than us figured it out. Okay? We too could figure it out. You'd only be very dishonest to say you are not capable of figuring out how a society could work without any form of money. How about that it's established at birth that you get your cut in the earth's resources at birth? And then when you pass along, when you die, which could be anywhere from birth to 120 years, any time in between, you could leave this place because we're only using stuff. Nobody owns anything unless you're delusional, willfully delusional, right? We would agree you can't take it with you, not even your own body. So what do you really own? You think you own your money, your material possessions? No, none of us do. You're nuts if you believe that. Yet that's what we're trained to believe, in ownership. You leave, and you leave your wealth behind, all the accumulated wealth on this planet. You have any idea what I'm talking about here? Why your money's supposed to go up in worth? If we're going to play this game, you play it like that. Otherwise, we get off all forms of money entirely. And from birth, it's established we all get our cut in the planet's resources. End of story. Figure it out. All right, I'm on to some thoughts from last week or two or three. Brothers and sisters, on the side of all truly good things for humanity. Thankfully, I feel confident in proclaiming that there are indeed things going on that is happening on a celestial level, involving our very reality here upon earth. Evil men will do whatever is in their power to keep the public from being privy to that information. Why? Because you would learn the truth that the good guys will prevail, and they desperately want to keep that concealed. Conceal that such empowering and encouraging information and knowledge from the righteous. It has become increasingly clear that living life as an atheist or an agnostic is a bit like living life as a brute beast. Imagine not recognizing, not acknowledging, not praising the author of all creation. We're talking about the supreme master artist, the sole inventor and architect and engineer of the universe, and then everything therein contained. We're talking about our sovereign owner, the Creator God Almighty. And isn't that a shame? Isn't that sad? Acknowledge the Creator God Almighty, my friends. There's great benefit in doing so. In my educated opinion, believing in a Creator God does not equate to being, quote, religious. For one thing, God is always good, but religion is rarely good. What it really comes down to is defining terms among those exchanging them, so that we may have a solid meeting of minds as to the specific definition of the words we're using. We can all say something bad about religion, but never God, when we are properly informed. Expanding on organic versus inorganic human suffering and differentiating on the identifying factors. Organic suffering is necessary for now. Inorganic suffering is always unnecessary. Organic suffering affects us all. Inorganic suffering is selective. Organic suffering naturally exists, while inorganic suffering is concocted by evil men. As such, identifying one from the other is simplified. Specific examples of pre-existing natural forms of organic human suffering include, but is not limited to, these following things. That is, any creature that can harm us. That's predators. This includes insects. Natural disasters. Dangerous, miserable temperature swings, sometimes deadly. Any and all diseases. The sun is too bright or it's too dark out. Thorns and thistles poke, harm, and annoy us. And death. Specific examples of inorganic, invented, concocted human suffering are such things as poverty, hunger, homelessness, financial desperation, often leading to homicides and suicides, dubious warfare initiated for profit, a fear-driven society based upon financial insecurity, with mean taskmasters, slaver types pulling the strings. Hint, the love of money is the means of success for all invented human suffering. America, not the government. Rather, the American people must decide our collective character as a nation. Knowing or believing that America is the most powerful nation on earth compels us to make the noble, logical decision to be known as Earth's gentle giant. The alternative is to have the reputation as a bully. You know, like the Timex. Remember the Timex slogan? We could take a licking and keep on ticking. We could turn the other cheek. That's the nation I want to be known as. In a nutshell, cost of living inflation is theft through craft via subterfuge. Quite simply, it is a gradual, roundabout method of normalizing slavery and all the implications thereof, primarily undue, endless misery. Yeah, who wants to get ripped off? That's why slavery is so absolutely abhorrent and objectionable and insufferable. When you truly understand the very heart and mind of God, then you understand certain fundamental and critical truths. Among those many truths is understanding that if we have ever felt the need for forgiveness for any real or perceived slight against another, then we must first of all forgive all others for any real or perceived slights against us. This is science. Unforgiveness toward others vexes our very hearts, minds, spirits, and souls, our essence. It serves to impede us and manifests as self-loathing, unhappiness, and sabotaging type behaviors through escapism and vices. There is no valid, good reason why America cannot be today what our ancestors envisioned she would remain, a free and fair nation. Gotta leave it there, friends. Best everybody. Have a great day. Have a great life. Enjoy it as best as you possibly can in this crazy-ass world, okay? Be a nice human being, nicer and nicer. Keep love in your heart. Don't let it become hard.